If you've been dreaming about a place where life feels a little more intentional, discover the Canopy in Sebastopol by City Ventures. This new community offers solar-powered homes, surrounded by mature trees, nature preserves, and walking trails, with a vibrant local downtown, renowned wineries, and the Bay Area all within easy reach. Enjoy low-maintenance living, refined design, and built-in eco-friendly features that make everyday life easier. Start your next chapter at the Canopy by City Ventures. Visit cityventures.com. That's cityventures.com.
Looking for these better days.
It is Tuesday, June 30th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. Late drama at the World Cup as the round of 32 continues. A trade in the NBA as more apparently is on the horizon. Plus, all the latest in Major League Baseball. Colby Marchio will join us on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel, as he will break down what he has noticed the last couple of days in baseball. We'll take a look at tonight's slate as well. But let's start in the World Cup, where yesterday we had 3 games where both teams scored in all 3. We could have had 3 draws in regulation. We had 2 games go to penalties, and the team that was trailing earlier in the game went on to win the game. Brazil scored a late winner in the 96th minute to defeat Japan 2-1 after trailing 1-0 29 minutes into the match. Germany and Paraguay played to a 1-1 draw, and Paraguay won 4-3 on penalties, and Morocco comes from behind with a late stunner, tying the game in the 91st minute against the Netherlands, going on to win 3-2 on penalties. So Morocco advances to the round of 16, eliminates the Dutch, as Paraguay and Brazil advanced as well. So late goals being scored. Again, Brazil with the game winner in the 96th minute. Morocco with the tying goal, the equalizer, as they say, in the 91st minute. 2 games go to penalties, and 2 draws in regulation cash with Germany, Paraguay, and Morocco, Netherlands. So a profitable ticket as you continue to bet the draws here at the World Cup. We have 3 elimination matches here in the round of 32 today. Let's take a look at the odds, courtesy of our friends over at the FanDuel Sportsbook. Norway takes on the Ivory Coast to advance. Norway minus 178, Ivory Coast plus 146. France versus Sweden to advance. France minus 950, Sweden plus 590. And Mexico against Ecuador to advance. Mexico minus 182, Ecuador plus 146. Of course, you can look at the 3-way lines for all these games. Take a shot maybe on the draw, the totals. France and Sweden with the highest total of the day, as that is a 3.5 goal total. And the United States, well, they will get underway coming up on Wednesday, tomorrow, July 1st, against Bosnia-Herzegovina. We'll have a preview of that coming up on tomorrow's pod. Obviously, you guys hear my voice. Microphone actually broke here in the studio, so we have to get our new mic set up. But in the meantime, just dealing with a quick pod here tonight. Also, it is a holiday week, so I feel like it's just a good time to have some short pods. Coming up tomorrow, I said we're going to preview the U.S. World Cup game. David Behrman will join me on the pod. We're going to talk a variety of topics. We're even going to get into some NFL futures. I know we talked about one possible NFL future tease on yesterday's show with Jake Hassan as we previewed the trench report stuff that I've been working on for the upcoming NFL season, but we'll maybe do a couple of NFL futures with David Behrman. We'll talk baseball, we'll talk World Cup soccer, all that fun stuff. So that's coming up on a much longer episode on tomorrow's show. Hopefully my new mic will arrive in time for that pod. Well, let's talk about what went down in the NBA yesterday. The biggest news, of course, Ja Morant traded from the Grizzlies to the Portland Trailblazers. And Portland, it's an interesting move for them because you have multiple players capable of running point. Damian Lillard, Scoot Henderson, Drew Holiday, and now Ja Morant. And all those players clearly don't belong on the floor together. So they're going to have to figure this out, whether this is a precursor to another move. Maybe they go all in for Jaylen Brown. Maybe it's somebody else they look to acquire. But it's an interesting move for the Portland Trailblazers. And for Memphis, look, you get out of a player that's been suspended multiple times, had a season cut short to injury, and maybe just wore out his welcome there in Memphis. You played so many games without him, and perhaps this is a way of getting something in return for a player that you were no longer interested in holding on to. It's also probably the final move in the teardown that is the Memphis Grizzlies. Desmond Bain and Jaren Jackson Jr. were already traded, and now John Morant is gone. So that core is out, no longer there in Memphis. They could turn towards the future with Cameron Boozer, Zach Edey, and others. Now, the big news we heard yesterday is the rumors of the Golden State Warriors looking to add LeBron James to their team in free agency, as well as Anthony Davis in a possible trade. Draymond Green did decline his $27.6 million player option, so it frees up some cap space there for the Golden State Warriors. And this could be the push that Golden State wants to make in terms of one last push for a title with Steph Curry on this roster. You would imagine that if they do go out there and try and trade for Anthony Davis, Jimmy Butler would likely be in that deal. LeBron probably would have to maybe take less money. I don't know. I know everyone's trying to speculate on what LeBron's future is. I don't know if I ever thought that it was going to be Golden State playing with Steph Curry and Anthony Davis for but who knows? Maybe LeBron loves San Francisco. I still wouldn't rule out a return to Cleveland or just returning to the Lakers or maybe even retiring. Meanwhile, speaking of the Lakers, Jalen Duren, former Pistons center, is going to be meeting with the Lakers. So that could be a big time add for them to add to the roster surrounding Luka Doncic. Although Jalen Duren absolutely disappeared in the playoffs for the Detroit Pistons. So is that the type of player you want to give a bunch of money to help you win a title or compete for a title? He clearly showed you that the spotlight just it was too big for him last year in the playoffs. NBA free agency officially begins tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. Now let's turn our attention to Major League Baseball and get the latest from our very own Colby Marchio.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
If you've been dreaming about a place where life feels a little more intentional, discover the Canopy in Sebastopol by City Ventures. This new community offers solar-powered homes, surrounded by mature trees, nature preserves, and walking trails, with a vibrant local downtown, renowned wineries, and the Bay Area all within easy reach. Enjoy low-maintenance living, refined design, and built-in eco-friendly features that make everyday life easier. Start your next chapter at the Canopy by City Ventures. Visit cityventures.com. That's cityventures.com.
The biggest stage in world soccer is here, and every goal changes everything. And now, FanDuel is giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right, more goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. From the opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/believe to get started now. 21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DC, Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY New York. Call 1-877-770-7867 in Louisiana.
What's going on, guys? Colby Marchio here, Colby M Bets on the socials for your quick hot 5 minutes of baseball. Howdy, howdy. Let's talk about this past weekend because there was a lot of nukes, and a lot of nukes by two people that matter to me. One, near and dear to my heart, Jake Hassan's heart, because we both bet him to lead the league in home runs. Hunter Goodman, only thrice 3 nukes away from his preseason total, 27.5. That's a flex by me, pat on my back. Need 3 more on June 29th at the time of this recording. It's awesome to see. I think the home run leader bet is alive and well right now. I mean, when Schwarber had that monster weekend, sure, I was nervous, but again, it was still June. I'm not going to freak out about something in June. But another person who had a ton of home runs this weekend and seemingly won't stop hitting home runs, Tampa Bay Rays phenom, young buck, Junior Caminero, who has 22 on the year. He's batting under 300, just a hair, 292, has a 932 OPS, is clearly a star in the making, if not already. He's already here. He's arrived. Hey, the doubters of last year because he played at a minor league ballpark, we're wrong. We're wrong. We can say they're wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's sports. You're never going to be right. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, a bunch of home runs this weekend. What's his odds to lead the league in home runs? Well, he's just a hair behind Hunter in the odds board at 20-1. I was like, oh, what is he to win AL MVP? 22-1. Now, I think if he leads the league in home runs, he potentially wins the AL MVP. Granted that the Rays win the East. And I think 22-1 is a great price. I know Jordan's minus 145 in June to win the award. In June. Do we really think it's Jordan as a DH? I would lean more on Nick Kurtz, who's plus 250 at the moment. I'm not rushing out to bet that because it's a horrible price. Then it's Bobby Witt and Ben Rice. I think we could all look at ourselves in the mirror and go, probably not those guys. I think the final 3 will be Junior, Jordan, and Kurtz. So at 22-1, I know it was like 40 last week. We're getting not the greatest price, but you got the eye test. You see what you're potentially getting involved in at still a fantastic long shot price. If you have nothing in the MVP market, I think this is a great option. I have a lot of L's pending, so I'm weary on adding another future to my card, but this is me advocating for a bet I think is a good one, as I have Vinny Pasquantino to do everything still in my quote-unquote portfolio. But another thing I wanted to touch on this past weekend is, are we shocked? Are we shocked the New York Yankees got swept by the Red Sox? Are we genuinely shocked? That sounds like the most New York Yankee thing, especially a year where the Red Sox are horrible. Horrible. They're horrible against the Red Sox anytime they're in Fenway. They're brutal. They're not a serious ball club. And I know producer Matt's down there just nodding his head, knowing that what I'm about to say, that we shouldn't freak out. We shouldn't, because once Aaron Judge comes back, he's going to put the team on his back, bring them to the postseason on a hot run, and then he's going to get gassed out because, he had to carry the team once again, one of the most disrespected superstars this sport has ever had. And then they're going to collapse in the playoffs and then have an unbelievable hype behind them going into the offseason. Well, the Yankees, they just need a couple pieces to get there. Can they get it? And then they want one big signing, and then they leave the rest of the flaws for the regular season. They're an unserious organization despite making the postseason every single season. I think they're a failure every year because they don't win anything. Well, that's pretty much what they used to be. Yeah, I understand that. Steinbrenner's been gone a very long time. This is the norm. We're not going back in time and getting the old Yankees. There needs to be a brand new regime, and I can't stress enough. Get rid of Boone, please. Get rid of Aaron Boone and get rid of Cashman. Please. This team needs to be the evil empire once again, which is probably not going to happen. But those are my thoughts. Junior Caminero, number 1. Go out and bet that. Go put some Little Debbie money on it, a Little Debbie dough, little pizza money. Don't go too crazy, but I think it's one of the best bets you could possibly make at the time of this recording. So have a good one, everybody. Have yourself a better day. Colby Marcio, Colby M. Bets, wherever you need to find me. Got any questions, concerns? I'm having a nice cold couple weeks. June usually kicks me in the behind. You can fade me. Always free. Have a good one, guys.
Great stuff there by Colby. Be sure to catch Colby and Jake Hassan on their Off the Board podcast, live streaming tomorrow on the Better Day YouTube and Better Day Twitter page. You can also listen to that podcast right here on this Better Day podcast feed. Yesterday, the New York Yankees lost to the Tigers 7-3, only 3 hits in that game last night. So the Sunday night fade comes through back in the Tigers against the Yankees. But here's something interesting. It was the first time in Yankee franchise history that they've been held to 3 or fewer hits in 4 straight games. That is crazy. And yet the Yankees are favored tonight when they host the Detroit Tigers and Tarek Skubal on the mound. But that's because Cam Schlittler is pitching for the Yankees. Yankees up on FanDuel, minus 137 tonight. All right, that'll wrap up this quick episode of Better Day. Again, tomorrow we will be joined by David Behrman from Betting with Behrman. We'll talk everything from World Cup to baseball to basketball to a little NFL futures talk as well. And hopefully my new mic will arrive in time to record that pod. Don't forget to follow us across all your social media channels. Keep up to date with everything we have going on up on betterday.com. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you've been dreaming about a place where life feels a little more intentional, discover the Canopy in Sebastopol by City Ventures. This new community offers solar-powered homes, surrounded by mature trees, nature preserves, and walking trails, with a vibrant local downtown, renowned wineries, and the Bay Area all within easy reach. Enjoy low-maintenance living, refined design, and built-in eco-friendly features that make everyday life easier. Start your next chapter at the Canopy by City Ventures. Visit cityventures.com. That's cityventures.com.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.